Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Josh Flores from Wall Street Saturday. I just want to thank you guys for checking out the video this week. If you can, please support the channel by liking the video and subscribing. And I just want to inform everybody that everyone on this video are not financial advisors, nor anyone's financial advisors. Anything that's said or seen on the show is strictly for educational purposes only. With that being said, please enjoy the show. Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for joining us for another Wall Street Saturday. Today is September the 10th. We don't have a whole lot going on in the market, but we still wanted to bring you guys a little bit of an update. Before we jump right into all these details, I just want to introduce myself. I'm Josh Flores.
Misael Gonzalez.
And I'm Josh Justin. Before we jump into the stock market, let's just have a brief word of prayer. Dear God, thank you so much for life, for good friends, and just for insight into the market. I just pray that you would just make our conversation to be helpful for us and for our viewers. And just thank you so much for the ability for us to do this every single week. I pray that you would be honored in our discussion today. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. This has been like a pretty calm week for the market in terms of news, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it was calm in terms of actual movement. The S&P 500 actually was up this past week by 3.6%. The Dow Jones Industrial Average was up by 2.7%. The Nasdaq was up by 4.1%. And there's definitely a lot of movement, but what really surprised me was the fact that there was just no news. Maybe it's just kind of like the market absorbing and just further digesting some of the previous news that had come out over the past couple of weeks. It's just like sometimes like the short-term noise can actually just be significant, even if there's no really clear catalyst. Did you guys see any main catalysts for this past week?
Yeah, for me, I didn't really notice anything too crazy. I think that after that conversation in Jackson Hole by Fed Jerome Powell, I could see that there was still quite a big sell-off. The only thing that I can think of potentially maybe smart money just continuing its sell-off, right? When they have hundreds of thousands of just shares, it takes time to unload all of those. And so it looks like somewhere around September 6th and September 7th was kind of the bottom of that week. And looks like people are just kind of coming back to buying things. I mean, potentially maybe they just kind of let it price in, right? Just that understanding that everybody's thinking that they're going to be raising the interest rates on September the 20th or September the 21st, even to that 75 basis points increase. So it's going to go from the 225 to about 3%, Fed interest rate, right? And so I think it was finally priced in. I think maybe people are feeling a little bit better about just the CPI data that's going to be coming out on September the 13th at 8:30 Eastern, so 7:30 Central for us here on this call. We understand that China is loosen up a little bit on its restrictions. Maybe the supply chain is a little bit better. We saw that oil and gas, maybe going to the pump and realizing that it's not as expensive, just a little bit, when you fill up your car. Food prices are getting just a little bit better. I'm not saying that it is entirely better, but just a little bit better. I just think that there's a lot of reasons to be a little bit more optimistic this week, and maybe that's a surprise from hearing me, the pessimist of the group. But yeah, so
yeah.
But I don't know if you guys have any thoughts on that, or if you guys kind of noticed anything, or have any hunches on anything.
Oh, there's one thing that you mentioned that was actually highlighted a surprise for me this week, and that is if you go to maybe the investing.com Fed rate monitor, or just a Fed watch monitor by pretty much any reputable site, you'll see that the probability of a Fed increase of about 75 basis points is pretty much considered certain by the market, and that's been significantly increased over the past week in terms of the probability. So that's something that I was kind of surprised to see, given that the market has actually been going up this past week. So people seem to be more convinced that we're going to get a 75 basis point increase, and yet they're still more optimistic because we've increased by over 3% in the market this past week. So I think for some reason, like there's just like some more optimism in the market, maybe because people or investors in general are thinking that this rate hike will not have or will not be as detrimental to profitability in the future. But that comes as a surprise to me. I don't know if I fully catalyzed or like fully digested that dichotomy, but it certainly was interesting to see this past week.
Yeah, I think the Fed Chairman Jay Powell had an interview with the Cato Institute on Wednesday, and he kind of reaffirmed what he said on his Jackson Hole speech. I think that gave the market a little bit of confidence because he is kind of notorious for being like wishy-washy. So the fact that he stuck to his main speech from Jackson Hole, that he's going to focus on getting the tasks done and getting all that taken care of, I think that gave the market a little bit of confidence. There's a quote out there somewhere. I'm sure we can attribute it to someone, but this says it's better to be confident and wrong than doubtful and right. So I think the idea that the Fed is being confident about the decisions that it is making kind of helps the market make better decisions, and that may explain why we saw that rally from towards the end of the week. So that's something that I was thinking about.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. I think the thing that drives market volatility is when people are uncertain. But I mean, if they're certain, they know that things are gonna crash or things are gonna go great. I think it just gives everybody a little bit more of a direction, helps us with our decision making, right? Know when to buy, when to sell, everything like that. And so, I mean, being confident and wrong definitely makes more sense than being doubtful and right.
Right, especially since like September is traditionally not a good month like for the market anyway. So I'll be looking forward to getting out of the month, hopefully relatively unscathed, like since we're going to have like some more information like on inflation data coming up soon. So yeah, I think for me, this is like a month. They're going to be like a month where I'm just holding my breath almost the entire time, trying to stay alive like in this challenging market with a lot of volatility.
Yeah. And the other thing is that we've been in the trading range ever since we bottomed in June. So it's been up and down, up and down, up and down. And usually when with the longer that you trade in the range, I mean the stronger the breakout is towards the top or the bottom. Obviously, I don't think we're going to go lower. But the decline that we saw in weeks prior to this week, that followed like a 30% rally in like some of the tech stocks that had taken a beat. You know what I mean? So it makes sense that the market was taking a break, and now that it kind of digested all the information that was out there, it continued its increase. But I think it's a positive sign. Yeah, I think it's a good opportunity to buy.
Yeah, I think that this will be a little bit of a generational moment here, honestly. They don't anticipate interest rates to decrease until about maybe 2024. And so this whole time where it's just kind of staying stagnant, like you're saying, like up and down before it jumps really, really high. I think that this is the time to just really load up and get your positions. And so one of these days we need to make like a horror video for everybody, right? Some of our investing mistakes, some of our regrets, things like that. I mean, maybe it can't really be a mistake if it's a learning opportunity, right? We can probably pull up some biblical lessons there from that. But overall, I just think that naturally, if you would have invested in June, you probably wouldn't be in as bad a position if you were just holding, right? But you might have been able to offset some of those losses that you have. But overall, I do think this is going to be a very powerful moment. People just need to be patient and not get too emotional about it.
Right. I think like definitely in the moments where I've been emotional because oh my goodness, I just lost a lot of paper money, or also have like some paper losses. That really makes me kind of like skittish and want to sell, but gotta stick to your guns and just be as unemotional as you possibly can when it comes to investing. Yeah, I think like an investing horror story would be pretty beneficial, because I have one horror story that basically is like the inspiration behind like the catchphrase, stay long, stay green. And because I didn't stay long and I wasn't green one time. So that really inspired me to really stay long, like as a great means of staying green. So yeah, I think like one of these days we should just like record all of our horror stories. I think I was having a conversation like with one viewer, and he was saying that he never lost money until he invested in options. I was just like, yeah, sounds about right. So yeah, there are definitely a lot of different opportunities like for us in the market. But I think in times of extreme volatility, it's just best to, at least for me, I try to do like less speculative like plays like options trading during times like these, when things are uncertain, unless it's maybe something like I'm selling a put because I want to enter a position. So yeah, things like that I think are the things that I try to do in times like these. But the thing I try not to do, even like as like the market is uncertain and there's upcoming inflation data, is just like sell, because yeah, I think like the rest of us here, investing for the long term is one of like the most consistent ways you can be profitable. So whatever you do, keep your eyes on the horizon, stay long, stay green.
What's up, everybody? Thanks for watching Wall Street Saturday. Remember, this is for educational purposes. We're not financial advisors. If you like our videos, go ahead and like and subscribe and hit that notification bell to be notified every time we have a new video out. Thanks for watching.